Take a look at this, bro. Look at what I just did. I stitched my fingers, bro. Look at this once again, bro. Look. Yeah. The word about it, exercise, is not the exercise. Oh, that was a short one. So I'm thinking this. If the exercise is so wrong, how did they get to look so great from the wrong exercise? Man, you can see it right now. If I'm banging out light weights, and I'm freaking pumping and I'm twisting. What's happening? My name is Albert. Welcome to another hang with this 61-year-old. And so I'm gonna hang today, man. It's time for a hang. I needed hang too. Yo, bro. I needed hang after my last workout. I worked out everything, and so my chest is fried, deltoids, biceps, bro. And so I'm gonna freaking hang. I'm gonna hang today, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna time my hang to see how long. This is what I do every time I hang, and then I compare the last hang to this hang. And so I'm gonna talk about why words are so poor when it comes to exercise. And so I'm gonna talk about it right now before I go and hang. The reason why words are poor is because exercising is a physical endeavor. Think about it. It's a physical activity, and so when I run, I'm running. There's no words necessary for that run. And when I'm exercising, there's really no words necessary. Okay, some words can influence, but in reality, the influence are still words. I still have to do the exercise. And so now I want to get to something very important that brought me to thinking like this. One of the things that brought me to think like this is the many fitness influencers who have incredible physiques, but yet they were bashed. Oh, that exercise is no good. Oh, that exercise is harmful. That exercise. But meanwhile, the fitness influencer was a specimen, shredded, very good looking physique, athletic, and they freaking dogged them. And so I'm thinking this. If the exercise is so wrong, how did they get to look so great from the wrong exercise? Think about it. That's something to think about, because a wrong exercise means that it should be ineffective. The exercise realm has made it a general right and wrong situation, which people have picked up. And so when the fitness arena says that an exercise is wrong, people just copy it without knowing what they're dealing with. Let me give you an example. Take a look at this, bro. Take a look at this, bro. Look at what I just did. I stitched my fingers, bro. Look at this once again, bro. Look. When I was young, I was able to bring my finger all the way to here. So just imagine the rest of my body. And so you don't know what you're dealing with. And so I am a different type of a specimen when it comes from what I can do, man. I can sit in the split. When I was a child, I sat in the split effortlessly, man. And so I was great in karate. If they put me in the circus, I would be great. So my body is made different, and this is where we fail. This is where you can't look at me doing an exercise and apply words to it. And so I'm going to do a hang and come back here and talk more about why words are poor when it comes to exercise. So come on, let's hang. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So man, I don't know how long I hung for, but it felt like a decent hang, bro. That felt good. And so wow. And so one thing that I want to say is that I bought new gloves, so I feel like I can hang a little bit more without my hands hurting. The last time, a problem that I had where I had to let go had a lot to do with my hands hurting so much. And so now, okay, so words, bro. Words are too powerful for exercise. So people have critiqued my exercising without knowing why I even do them, because they just assume that I'm doing it for bodybuilding reasons, but they don't know that I'm doing it for just fitness reasons. But the fitness word that I'm using is for me to be able to run and jump and move my body outside in the real world. And I do a lot of weird looking exercises that people said, oh, that's stupid, stick to the basics, but they don't know that I climb, and climbing requires a lot of core strength. And so when you don't know this, then you're just subject to look at an exercise and then comment on it through the knowledge that you have received. And so now you're stuck there. You're stuck with not asking any questions. You're not gonna, yo bro, that exercise, what is it good for? Why are you doing that exercise? And maybe verify if the person's doing it for muscles. Like I work opposite. I exercise as a 61-year-old. Then at the end of the month, I take a look. I take a look to see like, okay, well, how did those exercises correspond to my physique? And then I do it out of curiosity and for fun. All right, man. So I think I'm fit as a 61-year-old, and so I'm taking a look. And so now, this thing here with having a word about an exercise visually, I keep telling people, do the exercise and then let's talk afterwards. They won't do it, man. Because we're so stuck with words. Oh, that's wrong, and that's a stupid exercise. And if it's not a familiar exercise, then it's a stupid exercise. I did a pull-up where I did a core exercise while I did a pull-up, and they said, look at that exercise, so stupid. But that's the type of exercises that I like to do because I like to engage core with everything. And they were like, this is a joke, right? Those type of comments means that those people are just subject to the status quo of the exercises and the rules of the certain basic exercises, and they're just following the exercise like robots. And then when they see something different, they go, oh, that's dumb. And so I tell people, like I said, yo, do the exercise and let's talk afterwards, because when you do the exercise, then the exercise can speak for you. I did a push-up challenge, bro, and someone looked at it, and visually I made it look easy. And they were like, all right, bro, let me try it, bro. In 50 seconds, they fell apart, and I did 3 minutes and 20 seconds, bro. And so they were like, they got to see that what they see and what they say is very different from the exercise, man. And so do the exercise and let's talk after. Because only then the exercise can speak on your behalf, rather than you speaking mechanically based on what you've learned and all these things. And, oh yeah, that's not but the mitosis and the, what do you call that? The sarcopenia and the hypertrophy nonsense. It's all nonsense, because you have to exercise for a while and then see how your muscles correspond to whatever it is that you're doing. The whole hypertrophy, light weights for hypertrophy and heavy weights, I am freaking bugging out with those type of concepts, because I already know without any information whatsoever. I already know without any scientific input whatsoever that both heavy and light weights build muscles, bro, because it all depends on how you go about working out muscles to fry it out. And so obviously I'm freaking banging out, man. You can see it right now. If I'm banging out light weights, and I'm freaking pumping and I'm twisting and I'm twisting and I'm twisting, the light weights, I'm gonna produce muscle from it. And so it's a dumb question that's coming from people that just don't know. And so maybe here, if there's anyone that's tuning in, you could open your horizons and take a look at an exercise and question it. Be a true observer. Yo, bro, is that something that you have to modify into? Is that an exercise that looks a lot harder than it really is? And appraise yourself rather than, oh, that's a stupid exercise, the hypertrophy and the apoptosis and the apoptosis and the mitosis and all that science garbage that people bring to the table. And so I'm going to do my second hang and time it and see how I do this round. So let's hang. 1, 2, 3. That was a short one. That was a short one, but a good one, bro. My arm twisted in this way. So, wow, that felt freaking great, man. Okay, so I'm going to time it and find out for my records. And so this is a really good way for me to just, I have a library of all the hangs I did. And, you know, I go back specifically because I was already coined as a person that would get weaker as I got older. They gave me a 10-year projection of what was going to happen to me. You know, when I was 40, they said, oh, when you turn 50, they had a 10-year projection of the joints pain that I was going to experience from 40 to 50. And then from 50 to 60, the back pain and all that stuff. They actually project these things upon me. And here I am working out, getting stronger in so many different ways. And I'm comparing, I'm like, as long as I work out, man, I'm seeing progress in so many different areas. And so all that stuff is freaking fluff, man. It's such nonsense. And so now, the word about it, exercise is not the exercise. And so exercise is a physical endeavor, bro. When I'm exercising, my mind is influencing and navigating. It's working with me in a different way. My eyes are looking at what I'm doing. My body's in motion. But there's no words of right and wrong. There's no such thing as a right and wrong exercise. If you have exercised as long as I have for 9+ years with different fitness influencers, I've done squats low all the way to the ground, ass to grass. I've done squats midway. I've done squats with the legs close together. I've done squats with the legs further apart. I did all kinds of the horse stance far apart. And so there's so many different ways to exercise, and a lot of these little tweaks, I feel different things. It's amazing that because I'm so broad and so welcoming to whatever exercises out there, there's some exercises that I do where I had no idea that my lats were hurt from this type of an exercise. Where I said, okay, that's shoulders and it's legs. I had no idea that my lats were gonna be so sore. And that was a breakthrough for me because once again, anyone who sees this exercise will go, oh yeah, that's shoulders, deltoids, triceps. But without doing the exercise, you're stuck. You're not gonna know what is gonna work until you do it. Now, if you did the exercise, look how much more you can say. Wow, I saw that exercise. It looked interesting. It looked a little weird. Okay, that's fair. Some of these exercises look odd. But wow, the next day, my lats, my legs, a weird muscle that I thought never existed is sore. That's a freaking great way to now say things factually without the rule book. There's so many bicep exercises, bro, that I have done where I was, wow, I can feel certain exercises, the way I did the bicep exercise, where the soreness happened from inside out. Because sometimes it feels like it's in the muscle. But sometimes it feels like the pain is coming from another muscle that's underneath. And that's because certain ways that I'm twisting, I use unbalanced dumbbells. And so the demand for me twisting and doing the extra work in a different way, in a new way, had me challenge my body. And therefore, I was able to get the response from my body, which is soreness Wow, man. And so now they're spewing that thing that soreness doesn't mean anything. Soreness, these things that they're just words. Okay, soreness doesn't mean anything. All right, now go exercise. It's finished. What can we say about, this is what is expected. Yo, bro, I was sore from that exercise. Yo, bro, soreness does not constitute building muscle. So, I like feeling sore muscles because it makes me feel that yesterday's workout was worthwhile. If I don't feel sore, I feel like yesterday's was like, okay, I could have did better. And so they're mile markers for me. But either way, if you don't exercise and you just say, oh yeah, soreness is not an indicator of a muscle growth. So, where do we go from there? You see what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to get myself to stop the spewing and maybe explain it in a good way, so if anyone here is watching, you can be, instead of a spectator, the one that's actually there trying the exercise and then using the exercise to be your voice about it and not spewing the general knowledge that's there about the exercise that's given to you, that you're repeating like a robot mechanically. And so I'm gonna do my third hang, bro. They're getting shorter and shorter, bro. And so let's hang. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it just slipped. Freaking slipped. So, for my records, my grip strength is giving out first, and so that's something for me to jot down. Jot these things down, bro. And so here I am hanging, man. Hanging is such a good exercise, and it's not because I read about hanging, although I looked up the benefits for hanging. But when I looked up the benefits for hanging, I was able to justify that the things that I read about it was so. And why? Because they said that it's good for lats, and so I'm hanging and I feel my lats being stretched. They said it's great for the back decompression. Guess what? When I hang, I can feel even my back crack where it's getting that stretch and decompression. They say it's good for freaking strength, bro. Did I have to read that? That's already a point that I'm freaking making, bro. I do not need to read that hanging is freaking good for grip strength, bro. This is where I freaking bug out, where someone's gonna go, yo, bro, hanging is good, bro. It's good for grip strength. Oh, how smart are you today? You're a very brilliant person. So this is what I'm saying. I don't have to read the science, but I do it for fun. I say, okay, let me see the benefits because maybe there's something that I overlooked. Core. I felt my freaking core, and I can make my core stretch by bringing my neck back. That's why I bring my neck back, because when I bring my neck back, I feel all of this stretch. What else, bro? Does it work the legs, bro? Now, if science says that your legs get stretched, bro, no, because I'm not freaking utilizing my legs. They're freaking just hanging, bro. And so I'm not freaking working my legs. So anyone who believes that means that you're repeating the nonsense that you're reading. So you see what I'm saying? Here at Off the Chain Fitness, we bring sensibility to everything we do. Why are you doing this exercise? For what? Oh, it's fun. Oh, you like to do it. It's a challenge. You want to see if your body could do it. Okay. Oh, you like to run and play at playgrounds with kids, and so you want to get your back strong and your legs, and you want to learn how to crawl so that you can keep up with the kids. You want to be able to jump and run. Okay, so you're doing these exercises so that you can go out there and be the maximum of who you can be while you're playing in the playground. You see what I'm saying? So we make sense of these things. And so this is not a bodybuilding channel, so I don't know what to say about people who only work out for the looks of it, which to me I ain't doing that, bro. Because what I'm seeing bodybuilders do, they're getting in shape, bro. They look freaking fantastic with all these muscles, bro. And they're trying to get the eyes from the girls. And the girls don't freaking like that shit, bro. That's been freaking verified too, bro. I go like this, bro. And the girl goes, oh, that's so scary. And the guys that are freaking huge, they can't perform, bro. I know some friends that, they told me, you know, I took care of them really good. And we had a conversation. And they told me that, yeah, my ex-boyfriend was a bodybuilder. He could not perform. And he was so freaking sour. And I'm like, oh, why are you doing that to yourself, bro? Why are you putting on so much muscle and taking stuff that's going to cause your system to keep you from getting an erection? What's the matter with you? Like, what is wrong with that picture where you are choosing how you look over how you perform? And so they broke up. Yo, she needed someone to take care of her, bro. And he was younger. I knew her at about 58 or 59 years old, bro. I took care of her nicely, bro. He couldn't, bro. So she wanted romance. He couldn't give it to her, bro. So when I see people do that, I'm like, where's the sensibility in that? So here at Off the Chain Fitness, we bring sensibility to the table. Give input based on, this is what I do. Oh, I can't wait to hear stuff like that. I did that exercise and I added this to it, and I was able to see gains. Oh my God, how wonderful those words are, bro. Yo, bro, I've been working out for 10 years, bro. And I have to say that exercise, it wasn't as beneficial as I thought. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, because now I'm going to be careful, because you're talking from experience. But when you start with the big words, the hypertrophy and the apoptosis and the apoptosis and that according to science, I ain't freaking listening to that garbage, because it's useless, bro. So that's where words and exercise, it doesn't have a place. Words are too weak for exercise, because once again, exercise is a physical endeavor. It has everything to do with the physique and nothing to do with words, bro. If I start running, bro, what you're gonna hear from me is huffing and puffing, and to get to wherever it is that I'm trying to run to. I am not going to be thinking about what science has to say about this run, bro. So I'm gonna do my last hang and say goodbye. If anyone tuned in, bro, thank you. You could press like. You don't have to subscribe to this channel. It's all good, bro. If you do, bro, thank you, bro. But you can maybe just like it, and that's it. And everything is cool between me and you, bro. So I'm gonna do my last hang and say goodbye. Let's hang. 1, 2, 3. Yo, bro, this arm right here got an incredible stretch. There's something about here that needed a stretch. My arm ends up bending this way. I recommend rings. Those are rings up there, which it doesn't assume a freaking rigid pattern. The rings allows my arm to move, and so I end up like this. Sometimes I end up like my body seems to fall into the hang and assumes where my body's at for the moment. And so anyway, this concludes my hang.